So, as you may know or not, CLP is more than a 100-year-old company. It was grown and based out of Hong Kong. We've grown with the economy in Hong Kong, and we have lots of assets in Hong Kong. But as people who know Hong Kong will know, there are no resources for renewable energy, or almost none. Yet our company in 2007 decided on an ambitious climate action plan. We decided to reduce by 75% from 2050 the carbon intensity of our production. We've even recently increased the target to a reduction of more than 80%. So to get there on a portfolio basis for CLP, we've had to look towards investing in renewable assets in other places. Now, two emerging markets for energy near to us are, of course, India and China. And this is how, since 2000 and even a little earlier, we have been investing quite a lot of money in India and China. As a matter of fact, in the last 5 years, for every $1 invested in something else, we invested $1 in renewable energy. This is how we have come now to owning 1,000 windmills or more in India and about 3,000 megawatt of renewable energy in China. We continue to go on that path, although the market is evolving. The costs, and that's good, the cost of the equipment is coming down. What becomes increasingly more important now as well is to make sure that all that is connected with customers and wires. So in addition to investing in renewable energy, we will progressively invest also in transmission and distribution. Finally, in Hong Kong, recently with the government, we've established and agreed with the government on a pretty generous feed-in tariff so that the albeit very limited resources and maybe costly resources for renewable will be able to be harvested. As you know, Hong Kong is in a lack of land, and the most costly thing for a renewable is not the sun, is not the wind, it's the land on which you put your things. And in Hong Kong, there is not that much, but the land that is available, we think that it be on rooftops or that it be in other places, will now be optimized and used for renewable energy. I must congratulate the organizers of the Congress to bring those words together. To start first with the word transforming. I used to work for a French utility, and they used a couple of years ago the French word for energy transition. I think Chancellor Merkel was the first one to use this in German, the Energiewende. And I remember when I came over here 4 years ago in Hong Kong, people were not that excited about me using energy transition. So I'm very happy we're using now the word energy transition. It's not because our company is not using energy transition as a word that it had not embarked already on this vision. Because as I mentioned a little earlier, we had a climate vision that was very ambitious with respect to reducing the carbon intensity. Now, to do that, you have a transition, but how do you realize it? You need, of course, investments. And they need to be innovative, because putting more coal plants is obviously not the solution. Putting supercritical coal plants was part of the solution, increase in efficiency. Building gas-fired power plants is also part of the solution. If you look at a gas-fired power plant, that is quite an innovation compared to a coal plant. Investing in nuclear coal plants that have absolutely no carbon intensity is also part of the solution. But of course, more recently and more traditional, wind and solar, which used to be very expensive as a unit cost, but which, thanks to a lot of innovation, have become much cheaper, is now an economically viable solution. Another thing about innovation that I would like to mention is these things need to be financed. And so we need people to understand how much money is required around the world for energy transition. And so we've been looking for innovative financing structures, like green bonds in India, energy transmission bonds in Hong Kong. We may be looking for green bond bonds in China in the future. It's another part of innovation. And then last but not least, a very good word, or a very good point to choose the word integration. As we get a mix in the future with intermittent energy that is decentralized, with consumers who can also be producers, with big machines, small machines, power that comes from afar from a nuclear power plant, some power that comes from nearby with a gas power plant. Of course, all that has many more things that can go wrong. And so the intelligence and the efforts and the engineering required to integrate all that is much more complex. Fortunately, we have much more powerful computers. We have also much more capabilities of data analytics and artificial intelligence, which helps us to develop predictive analysis and predictive actions. And so, yes, that last word is also very critical into the whole transition. So again, congratulations for bringing these words together.